FBI director grilled on Capitol Hill in a day people across the country have been waiting for. It lasted more than 2 hours, and here's the highlights, starting with this.
There should be no fuzz on this whatsoever. The Russians interfered in our election during the 2016 cycle. They did it with purpose, they did it with sophistication, they did it with overwhelming technical efforts, and it was an active measures campaign driven from the top of that government. There is no fuzz on that.
Former FBI Director James Comey says President Trump invited him to a private dinner and said, quote, "I hope you can let this go," meaning the investigation into former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn's involvement with the Russians. So that leads us to the one sentence that got the most play.
I've seen the tweet about tapes. Lordy, I hope there are tapes.
Lordy, I hope there are tapes. Even fired U.S. Attorney Preet Bharara tweeted he wishes there were too. Okay, back to the most dissected phrase. Comey says the president said, quote, "I hope you can let this go." But the word hope had different interpretations.
He did not direct you to let it go.
Not in his words, no.
He did not order you to let it go.
Again, those words are not an order.
No. He said, "I hope."
Senator Rich didn't accept that argument, challenged Comey to come up with one circumstance in which someone had been legally charged for hoping for an outcome. He couldn't. But now I want you to listen to this. This isn't a question, but rather a statement by Senator Kamala Harris.
When a robber held a gun to somebody's head and said, "I hope you will give me your wallet," the word hope was not the most operative word at that moment. But you don't have to respond to that point.
There are questions into Comey's investigation of Hillary Clinton's emails and questions about why Comey chose to simply document his conversations with the president.
I was honestly concerned that he might lie about the nature of our meeting.
I know the Oval Office, and I know what happens to people when they walk in. There is a certain amount of intimidation. But why didn't you stop and say, "Mr. President, this is wrong. I cannot discuss this with you"?
It's a great question. Maybe if I were stronger, I would have. I was so stunned by the conversation that I just took it in.
Lastly, did that phrase, "I hope you can let this go," amount to an obstruction of justice?
I don't think it's for me to say whether the conversation I had with the president was an effort to obstruct. I took it as a very...
That's the job of Robert Mueller, special counsel of the Russia investigation.
Trump's attorney